I'm going to tell you something, and we need to get the homie on. There's nothing more jarring than scrolling the show Twitter timeline.
Sure. With our listeners who are tweeting stuff out.
Would you like something shocking to your system that doesn't look right and never will despite his race?
Oh, what do you got?
Kevin Love is a Utah Jazz.
What? When did that happen?
And it needs to stop, and I need to never see this again. He does not look good in this jersey.
What? I had no clue that happened. That would have been the first time I turned on a Blazer Jazz game this year. I'm like, wait a minute, what did he send a text in the group chat? When the hell did Kevin Love get to Salt Lake City?
This is Ewing in a Sonics uniform. Something is not right here. It needs to stop.
Let's talk to the homie Mike G. Rich. That's what his Twitter handle is. You can go follow him there. The Locked On Blazers. It's a daily podcast. And the Three Amigos, that's what we call ourselves. We were in a Blazer hype video because you know me, I'm a big Caleb Love guy.
Big Caleb Love.
I love some love. Yeah. And he's on a two-way deal.
Love
and they're putting us into hype videos. So we'll see if we can get something to go into a hype video out of this one. Mike, good morning to you. You asked Joe Cronin yesterday about two timelines and how do you square arguing development of young players is mightily important, but also, playing Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams. What did you make of his answer and the fact that in year 5 of a rebuild, we're still on two timelines?
Oh, well, I do think he was refreshingly honest about the plan. I don't think I agree with the plan, but I do think saying we've made a choice to put guardrails on our young players is an honest response to what they've chosen to do. Do I think that's a good idea? I do not. That's probably not going to make the hype video. I'm glad to be chatting here with two guys who are in episode 1 of season 4 of The Trail.
Let's go, baby. I'm a Trail P1. How are you not? I'm all over that thing, dude.
Yeah, I think it was nice to hear them to hear Joe say, yeah, we've chosen to do this. This is how we approach it, because it's easier for someone like me to say, well, I wouldn't do that. That sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like you're still doing the bad idea. Go for it.
Can we play? I know you lived it. You were there. You asked good questions. We played it in 2 segments ago. Can we play this clip and then get your reaction to this? Because I heard this and I went, dude. It's you. What are you talking about? Here was Chauncey Billups on the starting lineup decision.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could go. I say this to y'all and I say this to our guys. I'm not really the one that's deciding that. I'm really not. I'm just going to be the messenger in it. And they got to go earn it. I'm really happy to even have this discussion, to have the talent, to have the depth. This is new for me.
So if he's not the decision maker, who is he the messenger for? Like their choices? I found that a very odd answer.
Does Bert Cole get to pick the starting lineup?
Bert does. I think the other option is this is the full evolution of ball don't lie. The ball don't lie. It will decide. It shall decide who starts. Certainly, they didn't already promise Jeremy Grant a starting spot in order to make him feel better about his situation, trapped in the place that gave him $160 million. My read on that is that Billups it's a good way to say, I've already made some decisions, but we need to go into camp with the idea that everybody can earn a spot, and the way you earn a spot is playing well. And all I'm going to do is know who plays well and blah 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 blah. Like, it is truly a meritocracy. Obviously, it will immediately stop being a meritocracy once the games start, but it's a nice idea at the beginning of training camp.
Did you find the Cronin stuff? I know we texted about it yesterday, but the Cronin expectations from Dames, it's winning time to, it'd be nice if we were a play-in team, but it's more about growth and development and, just an odd, I guess, position. I don't need them to come out and say they're going to guarantee they make the playoff, but like at a minimum, how are you not? We should be a play-in team this year, especially given some of the talent and rosters at some of the bottom tier of the West.
Yeah, it was a little bit of wishy-washy in a way that they hadn't been. At exit interviews, it's kind of like pushed to say, like, yeah, I think the playoffs are our goal. But then when you come out in July and say, no, we got Dame and now it's winning time, it is odd to me that they didn't say, we expect to be good. And we'll, whatever good means, but we expect to be really good and we expect to be playing meaningful games in the spring. In fact, Cronin, what he did was he hedged by saying, yeah, we want to make the play-in, we want to make the playoffs, and when we make the playoffs, we want to win 16 games. He hedged by sort of joking about winning a championship. To me, it's just like, I don't know, say it with your chest. Do you think you built a good team? Say it.
Well, especially too with the way, Mike, that they're doubling down on this. Like, it's all about the end of last year and the way that they finished and the 41. Like, who cares about 82? Let's just focus on the 41 games, and that's where we're giving everybody an extension on. And then you're going to turn around and tell me that you can't continue that, but we just gave everybody a contract extension. That was the head scratcher for me. I am curious your thoughts, and this is impossible to answer, but like everything we know about Tom Dundon is that he's a dude who cares about winning and will spare no now he might do some stuff with like broadcasters and media members and all that he's not going to spend money on, but when it comes to like winning and the product on the ice or now in this case on the court, that's what the most important thing is for him. Is there an aspect of Cronin and Chauncey this year? I know that they just got extensions, but like this is kind of it for them. If they don't make the play-in and you got an owner that takes over after the All-Star break, like this is year 5 without making the playoffs. What are we continuing to do this for?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that there's like a level of winning that guarantees their job security, right? Because like he might just want to hire new people regardless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like I like this is obviously just like speculation, but they might have got fired the moment the team sold, right? It might have that might have been the end for them. It's just like you get to play out until March or whenever when it gets finalized, or I guess maybe longer due to some Panda Express beef, but like, yeah, I do think there is some pressure to proof of concept stuff. And I also think they're better. Like, I think they're going to be competitive and pretty good. It's just like, I don't think they're likely to make the playoffs. And if you don't show some other obvious proof of concepts, then yeah, I do think when the new person gets in charge and says, listen, we're going to win some games now, it gets harder to sort of say, hey, well, here's why it works. And we promise we've got a great plan cooking.
That's known Blazer doubter, Mike Richman there.
Yeah.
They're not going to make the playoffs. Let
Wouldn't
that be
be
known
me.
for the record.
Wouldn't
It's
be me.
attached to all the
Hey,
negativity.
did you just skip over the first part of my extremely positive sentence?
They're not putting that in the trail,
I
Mike. That's not making the trail episode 2.
Aggregates.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can I get this clean for the trail?
Yeah, sure.
I think the Blazers are going to be really competitive this year.
Joe already said that. They already got
cut.
that cut. They already got that clip. They don't need you to say it. They got the general manager that's going to say it. I am curious. I am curious. Baby Kobe. Saw him talk for all of 5 minutes and 21 seconds. People on the YouTube saying he's gotten better. His answers are from 4 words to 8 this year. He's growing. I'm curious what we expect from Shaedon Sharpe, especially considering it is in this weird limbo of contract before the year, contract mid-year, or do you need to outright play the whole season to earn one of those $100 million deals?
Yeah, I can't imagine that he signs a fat contract in the offseason, but there's always a chance. Yeah, I do think he's gotten a little bit better at talking to the media. When you start the bar low, easy to jump over it. And yeah, it's a weird spot for him, right? Because I feel like on a perfect world for Shaedon Sharpe, he would be the unquestioned starting shooting guard on a team built around maximizing his strengths. And while he's going to have a bunch of playing time, he's probably going to get the ball a lot, and he's going to score 20 points per game. I'm not sure that he's on a team that has given him the spot as the starting shooting guard and maximized his strength and yada yada. It's a weird. He's in a weird space. He's in limbo in a lot of different ways. Although he's still going to play 30 minutes a night and get to shoot a lot.
Yeah. Do we make too much of that? Because I know that's something that I'll get hot and bothered when I turn on the first game and I'm like, why is the guy in year 4 not in the starting lineup when he's in a contract year and we're not having championship expectations, and Jeremy Grant's just allowed to make a lot of money and continue to start despite the fact he was terrible all of last season. Do we make too much of that? Who's in the starting lineup and who's not?
Probably, but I think it matters to players, right? Like when Jeremy got asked, like, have you considered coming off the bench? He's like, nah, I don't expect that. Like,
do you see my paychecks every 2 weeks? I'm not coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's like, that's not a thing. Like, that's not a thing I'm going to be considering. It really reminded me of, hey P, they expect me to come off the bench, and then Carmelo Anthony was like out of the league within 8 months. But so it's a weird world. So I think we probably do care too much about who starts, but I think it matters to players. And I think really the real question is who finishes, who ends the game, and who's on the court when it matters. If the Blazers if Shaedon Sharpe's not on the court when it matters, it does feel weird. I think he will be because they're going to need his offense and they're going to need his, what he does. But I think like the real thing we should pay attention to is the first 2 or 3 games that are close in the final 4 minutes, and who closes the game? Like, who is on the court when it's time to win? Because that's a testament to who's the guy I trust to do the right thing.
Kind of just a couple more from me. I'm kind of a two-parter for you. Is what did you make of what is the expectations, I guess I would ask, of Donovan offensively? I know he said he worked on his game. I don't know if we had a real follow-up. Like, what specifically did you develop? Maybe it was the 3-point kind of vague mention there. I'm just kind of curious what he's going to be offensively, because we know he's really good defensively. And what do you make of the team without Scoot for maybe 2 months?
Yeah, I think Donovan mentioned getting faster rolling to the rim and finishing around the rim. And I don't care about the 3-point shooting. It'd be cool if he made threes. But I think this is just off the top of my head, I believe he was 14 of 49 from 3 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's go off, King. It's like he took 49 threes in 67 games. Like, come on. That's just not a thing that I expected. But he's got to figure out how to score, period. Can he get his hands better so he can catch in the paint? Can he just make layups around the rim? Can he convert offensive putbacks at a high level? Like, he just needs to do like one thing. Like, if you get him the ball here, or if he gets the ball here, it works, and then figure it out from there. I think offensively without Scoot, and Donovan certainly needs probably a good pick and roll partner to help him. They just don't have a lot of dudes who can dribble pass. So I think some of this is reliant on the sort of the parts being, the sum of the parts being better than the sum being better than the parts. So we'll see if that works out. I don't think that's been the case often with this team, but maybe this is the year for optimism.
Last one I got for you, Mike. You mentioned Scoot there. Going into year 3, talk about contract for Shaedon. We're kind of encroaching on that territory now for Scoot. He was probably going to be in the starting lineup, but who the hell knows?
Would you gamble on that?
No, but now he's out, maybe till New Year's Day, right? Like, who knows how long a torn hamstring's going to take. It was nice to hear they don't think surgery is needed. Just how detrimental is that for him at this stage of his career going into such a pivotal year 3?
Yeah, it stinks. It stinks, because this was the year he was going to prove in some ways the organization wrong, right? Not that the organization doesn't believe in him, but certainly they have done some things that make him like less vitally important by adding, franchise icon Damian Lillard back to the mix, adding Drew Holiday back to the mix. It's like they have some other guards that can play. Certainly, I'm sure they would hope that Scoot is really good, and that would kind of solve some of their problems. But this was the year he was going to say, you have some contingencies? You want to see some contingencies, big dog? And he was going to, prove that they sort of wasted some resources, right? And now he starts with a setback, and he's going to have to get going. And I don't know enough about hamstrings, but they seem like a type of thing that you don't just like come back and are ready to go, right? It's a soft tissue injury. It stinks. So it's just a bummer, because it's a bummer for Scoot just because it was a big year for him. And it's a bummer for the team because he was going to be important, sort of adding to their mix and their depth and all those things. And they don't have a ton of point guard options behind Scoot.
No. People can tell me about Blake Wesley. I've never heard of him before, but he's supposed to be pretty good.
Your colleague loves Blake Wesley. You just asked Trace over there about Blake Wesley. I had him on the podcast earlier this summer. He tried to mention Blake Wesley like 6 times in an hour. It was unbelievable.
Well, is Delano Banton still around?
I don't know if
he's our next up-and-coming guard.
Does it matter if they have a point guard? Because I was told Denny Avdia is just going to run the entire offense.
He's going to get the ball a lot. You better believe it. He's going to get.
I thought it was Chinese Jokic.
He was going to get.
No.
Yeah. No. Who knows how much my man Hansen plays? I hope he plays a ton, because he's got the juice. He is a real.
No, we got to play Robert Williams, dude. We got to play Robert.
Well,
Williams.
He did drop a homie in one of his lines, which I quite enjoyed. The interpreter dropping back home with my
interpretation
homies.
of homies. Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Okay, can we complain about the interpreter real quick? Interpretation real quick.
Yeah.
Chris Lou. He says, okay, how are you learning? And Chris Lou says, oh, I learned from my vets. And then I was sitting in the way back of the room, so I didn't hear this, but I was told afterwards that Hansen said in English, I just trust my OGs. way better.
Way better, dude.
Way better quote.
Come on.
Way better quote. And then Chris gave us like I listened to my vets, and I was like, no, he said trust my OGs. Let the original text stand the way it should.
I said this, Mike. I think the interpreter is the most underrated job for sports. You get all the free team merch. You travel with the team. You
And
get
nobody has
bench
any clue if
seats.
you're even saying what's right because we don't know what the hell he's saying. He could be making it all up.
No, you're the one that gets to publicly talk for the athlete. Like, you kind of get all the perks of it with nobody even knowing what your name is. I thought it was a fun press conference. I know it's a different language, but he shouted out a local restaurant.
Until you start gambling on sports, then things get ugly.
Well,
just don't do that. You know?
I also enjoyed Joe kind of sounding like somebody not even sure what Chauncey's minute distribution is going to be for him. So he's like, I don't know. He might be in the G League.
Hey, you give me Young Onsen in a remix game, that might get me to a remix game. I never thought I'd say that, but it might get me there. He's the homie. His name is Mike G. Rich. Go give him a follow on Twitter. What do we got on the Locked On Blazers daily podcast today?
Oh, we're talking more G League. We're talking more Media Day stuff today, reactions to sort of what we learned. I did a two-parter because Media Day was so big. We got about an hour of audio content, and I'll keep you abreast of everything that happens. We'll just talk about the things that happen. It'll be a lot like this, and I'll be respecting my OGs along the way.
Thanks for keeping us abreast.
He's the homie. I am abreast. Give him a follow on Twitter at Mike G. Rich. Check out the Locked On Blazers daily podcast. Always enjoy it. Until next time, Mike, thank you.
Respect to my OGs.
There you go, Mike Richman, talking some Blazers.